As I booted the game and the intro music started, when the peculiar art style flooded my pupils with a familiar yet alien feeling, I knew that I would like this game. I knew that the experience will be a beautiful journey, salted with nostalgia, peppered with a little bit of sadness, full of rich story, lore to be discovered, and backstory to be savored. The game has a strong start. Your character is a foreigner, or how the Glenfadden would say, Estermorn to these lands. Us is the player, making a smart connection between the character and the player. What the player knows, the character knows, creating a thirst for knowledge and a wellspring of curiosity in us. The first thing I noticed, except the really nice art style, were some green rocks coming out of the ground. Inquiring about them, I got my answers. These are called Adra, and if the story is to be believed, it might grow from the heart of the planet and have a life of its own. I was already intrigued by this fact alone to want to learn more, but my curiosity will need to be sated later, because I needed to tend to my illness. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that I arrived here with a caravan from an unknown region, and happy me, I was sick. But thankfully, I did not meet Berath that day, cause our caravan master knew of a tea that will cure me. I just need the ingredients. After I found the ingredients and met the friendly locals, I made my way back to the camp. From afar, I saw a huge party with new people joining in. It was so wild, most of them were laying on their backs. As I made my way forward, horror started to creep in my mind, realizing that the commotion wasn't a friendly welcoming, but they were screams full of pain and murder. I decided to stand my ground and maybe have a chance at revenge against the cold and unforgiving stranger that murdered my traveling companions. With a bit of skill and luck, I managed to save another caravan member and survive the encounter. Breathing a sigh of relief, I hear the last dying words of the caravan master. Run! Confused, I started to make my way to a nearby ruin. As I was running, I started to realize that behind me a huge storm was forming, a tornado of wind and magic that was able to tear apart souls from their body. Yeah, that just happened. Imagine surviving a storm that rips apart not only your mortal body, but even your soul. Barely managing to escape it, me and two other members of the caravan reached the safety of the nearby ruins. After a quick exchange of words with them, looking back and feeling sorry that I couldn't save more people, we looked for a way out of the ruins. Feeling fresh air again, we felt a sense of relief, but we didn't have much time to rejoice. After we witnessed a ritual made by an unknown cult, I got knocked out. Waking up and getting a grasp of my surroundings, feeling a little bit dizzy, I look around and notice my last two companions from the caravan lying dead beside me. Dread and sadness conquers my body, but I get a firm grip and snap out of it, deciding to go forward and look for some help and a place to stay the night. After making my way through a forest, I finally see on the horizon lights, traces of a settlement. Feeling relief and happiness, I make my way to the village, every step faster than my last. I was gasping for air, my only companion, the whispers of my mind. Hurry, hurry. I finally reached the village, but instead of relief, I only felt fear and dread, as the image of a huge tree full of hanged people burned into my eyes. So yeah, this is the beginning of the game that opens the door to the unexpected and makes your curiosity thirst for the answers of knowledge. The game does a great job at world building, pulling the player in with a great atmosphere and a believable world. I felt like my character actually found himself in the surroundings of a possible real world. The attention to detail is pretty amazing, from their clothing, the way they behave, dialogue, religion, superstition, how they acquire food, means of entertainment, different social classes, personal beliefs. They all come together to instill the feeling of a real breathing place. Like I said, the world building is really good. I found myself immersed from the first moments I set foot on Aurora. The story is a personal one, with you finding out that you are a watcher, a person that can see souls and see the past and current lives of others. Can I just say that sounds freaking incredible? Anyway, not knowing what to make of this, and the fact that you yourself have awakened to the memories of a past life, you go on a journey to seek answers and maybe a cure to your awakening. Not wanting to spoil much, I'll just say that things get complicated. With every step forward, you uncover the workings of the world and the means to end its suffering, or maybe continue it. I really like how every bit of advancement you make in the story leads you to learn more about the world and about yourself, but at the same time, the answer you seek elude you. I found it to be a really interesting way to tell a story. Thankfully, by the end, my curiosity was sated and all my travels, adventures, and decisions led me to a fulfilling end. The side quests in this game really got to me. Most of them made me feel different types of emotions, from anger, sadness, happiness, disappointment, frustration, to wanting to smash the teeth of some NPCs. They were really well structured, with a lot of ways to complete them. I was really invested in the side stories of the people inhabiting the Deerwood. While some made me want to help them, others made me want to find a very different solution to what they had in mind. One such quest is the infiltration of a local's lord hold. While traveling through a small village, you can see the way he rules, with a firm hand. This guy doesn't forgive. The people of that village suffer under his rule, and anyone who doesn't obey him is hanged. After you do some tasks for the villagers and gain some reputation with the village, you are approached by a man that asks for your help to bring the lord down. After seeing all the suffering caused by mere superstition with no facts to back it, it's kinda hard not wanting to do something for these people. I accepted to help the man. Reaching the place, I realized that hold is a freaking fortress. As you explore the place, you find different ways to enter it. You can climb a wall with your more athletic persons, you can storm the front gates, barbarian style, or you can get in through the sewer system. After you manage to get in, your options just multiply. You can kill everyone, or you can find different disguises to fool the guards. Sneak around by finding secret rooms and levers. Exploring around, you'll find more about the Lord. That maybe will make you hate him a lot. All these options led to my unavoidable confrontation with the Lord. Spoilers alert, he didn't live through it. But this wasn't the only way you can solve the quest. You can actually side with the Lord and kill the one that asked you to help him. Or maybe you don't care about the suffering of some peasants and ignore it all. Or you can kill the Lord and the one that requested your help. Every choice leads to a different outcome in the end. The combat is real time with pause, and it is a good implementation of it. While being simple to understand, it has a lot of complexity in the mechanics and how things work. For me personally, they nailed it. I really enjoyed this aspect of the game, and I really liked how the stats work. They changed it from the classical D&D system to something new for pillars, which allowed for more flexibility in builds and allowed me to roleplay as a wimpy fighter, but with huge resolve to get things done, a wizard tank, a clumsy rogue, and all the wacky builds I can think of. They might not be optimal, but they are viable, and trying new things was really fun for me. And at the same time, you can min-max and create some really powerful builds to annihilate your enemies. All in all, the combat, for me, was fun, with only one thing that rubbed me the wrong way, being the awful pathfinding. Sometimes I would give my character a command to cast a spell, and instead of taking the shortest route, he would stumble on my party and run in circles. The soundtracks in the game are beautiful and fit the settings perfectly. Sometimes I would just stop in a region, lower all the sound to zero except the music, just to listen to it. Like I said, truly beautiful, and it made me feel all kind of emotions. But for some reason, they gave me an overwhelming feeling of melancholy, which is fine by me. Really love the music in the game, really do. The sound effects for the most part are good and create the feeling of walking, metal clashing with metal, spells flying all over, people working, overall good sound effects. They really help to accomplish the feeling of real. What about voice acting? Well, the voice acting actually is excellent, especially the voice for the companions and the important NPCs that inhabit the world. The voice actors do a good job of making the characters feel like being part of different cultures and being unique individuals that have different attitudes and views. As an example, the voice actor for Eder is the same voice actor for Aloth.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-looking tongue out of your head!
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
There might be some lesser convincing theatrical acting using the art of voice, but they are few and far between, and even in this kind of cases, they are good, just not the best. All in all, great voice acting. Well, about the companions, I like them. They are well done and well written, and as I said earlier, well voice acted. But, because there always have to be a but, I felt them like something that you were stuck with. No motivation of their own to follow you. You got them? Good for you! Congratulations! They'll always be there no matter what you do, even if your actions conflict with their views and morals. I feel like they could have done a lot more with them. Of course, they have their own personal quests that you may or may not do. And there is a lot of banter between them that is really funny.
They're obvious. Do people treat you badly? Because of how you look?
Are you kidding me? My face looks like a cautionary tale about the dangers of wild animals, and I'm even shorter than other Orlans my age. People just like to heckle me.
Don't ever let them. Be proud of who you are. They're the ones who should feel shame.
But even if you ignore their quest, I found out there is no consequence to it. They don't feel angry or upset, and when they interject in the conversation and voice their opinions, if you ignore it, nothing happens with them. No bonus conversation, no I hate you, I'm leaving, nothing. I still remember how the story made me feel about the mysteries of Durgan's battery. After discovering it and leaving my footprints in the dust, learning more about what transpired, I was so sure that the dwarves killed each other out of greed, making me go like, what dumbasses, just to be proved wrong when reaching the final conclusion of the expansion. Retracing my footsteps from Deerwood back to White March for a second time made me realize what actually happened to the dwarves. I was actually shocked to find out that this was the doing of a god, one that was afraid her action would rise to the surface and not be drowned in a sea of forgetfulness anymore. When I found out that the dwarves were wiped out by the god, I felt annoyed and disappointed, angry, making me question the divinity. And when I found out that another god died a long time ago, made me question the power of the gods. Are they truly gods? Are they actually immortal? Pushing forward with the story, I reached the part to reforge a powerful artifact. And there, the choices and actions you make prior to this part come into play. Depending how you resolve previous conflicts between ogres, iron flail, and stalwart, you can get the help of different factions in the battles to come. It felt really rewarding to see that my choices mattered in such a manner, and that my struggles were not for nothing. While I found myself a little bit disappointed by the pace of the story in Act 3, the ending washed that quite easily. I was caught in a conversation with an old friend.
Hello, old friend. The ages have been kind to you, I hope.
That conversation not only reflected the doubt I had in the game, but also made me contemplate some of my views in life, about religion and about who we are, and what is more important to me, finding meaning in someone else, like a god, or having the courage to take responsibility for my own thoughts and create my own purpose. I did not expect such a philosophical conversation at the end of my adventures. It was truly a refreshing sight to behold. I also liked the perspective of my companions in this matter, which was very different of my own, and the nice part is that I helped create that perception through my conversations and actions throughout the game. The game feels like an old friend that you have not seen in years, welcoming him inside, sitting at the table, letting the reunion lead you to a good conversation that rolls like a carpet and let ideas flow, creating an immersive tapestry of enjoyable experiences. And while it felt like I knew him well, he seemed like a different person, someone new that made me want to discover more and let my imagination loose.